Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our remote work efficiency and productivity session today with SearchInform. My name is Mihailo Prerad, and as I'm alone today, please write all your questions in Q&A, so I will try to answer them all. If not, you will get answers by email. So let's start today's session. Just a little bit about SearchInform today. SearchInform is one of the leading risk management and employee monitoring vendors, which for over a decade, the company has been a technological trailblazer focusing on contemporary cybersecurity threats, protecting business and government institutions against data theft, harmful human behavior, compliance breaches, and much more. As you can see, we have more than 3,000 companies around the globe and across all the major economic domains, from banking and retail to machinery and fighter jet manufacturers, which count on SearchInform regarding efficient, holistic risk management against ever-improving threats. In 2017, SearchInform solution was recognized by Gartner as a specialist in enterprise data loss prevention. Our key solution is a risk management platform, and our technology secures organizations against corporate fraud and financial losses, provides internal risks management, compliance, and human factor control. On the left side, you can see the whole umbrella of our products, where we have DLP, Risk Monitor, Profile Center, SIEM, File Auditor, which is particularly interesting, for example, for fighting against ransomware, keeping your files secure for the privilege access management, and much more. But today, we are going to focus on a specific product called TimeInformer, which is specifically interesting in this era of remote work, and which gives you a tool which can help you to monitor remote employees and increase productivity and efficiency in your environment. So let's just take a little bit time to get onto some remote work trends. And as you know, the pandemic has forced the adoption of new ways of working, and organizations must reimagine their work and the role of offices in creating safe, productive, and enjoyable jobs and lives. So according to, for example, research done by Buffer, it says that 98% of the people would like to continue working remotely at least some of the time for the rest of the career. Recently, I just found on LinkedIn that 82% of workers want to work from home at least one day a week. So the remote work is here to stay, it's on the rise, and nearly 1/3 of the US workforce and of more than 50% of information workers are able to work from home now. Of course, who wouldn't like taking Zoom calls in sweatpants? And this is probably going to become a new normal for the millions of workers around the globe. And this is the effect of COVID-19. So you can see on the graph on the left side, the percentage of remote work before COVID. So there is more than 50% of people who never worked remote prior to COVID. So it's like, this is something which is generating additional productivity issues and affects efficiency. Real estate, why is going to stay? Real estate expenses saved by each remote worker average $10,000 per year. And 88% of organizations worldwide made it mandatory for their employees to work from home after COVID-19 was declared as pandemic. And just a little example, Xerox calculated that it saved about 92 million miles, which is about 115 million kilometers of driving by allowing its remote workers to avoid commuting. So one of the facts is that people didn't work before, and this is what brings us to remote work that affects productivity. And I did a little snapshot of my work desk on the left side. So I guess there are some of you who have the similar issue. So remote workers are struggling to stay productive. Many are juggling family responsibilities and radically new lifestyles with their jobs. So it's obvious that the productivity takes a hit. And it's nearly 35% of newly remote workers that said that it affected negatively in their productivity. Um, there is obviously other side with people who are experienced, and about 13% of them say that it affected in overloading because they can't get rid of the work due to the availability. Here are some other nice charts, like 28% of employees spend more than 2 hours on the internet for non-work activities. And we can see that Microsoft published a report where the MS Teams chats on Saturday and Sunday have increased over 200%. So there is no border anymore. And how are you gonna work with that? So these are some of the top of the concerns of the managers that are worried that productivity and focus will be diminished if people are working in more informal locations, such as home or cafe. So 82% have problem with reduced employee focus, 75% with reduced teamwork, team cohesiveness. There is a reduce in company culture. For example, managers who used to wear suits now go out in a pajama or whatever. So there is a big impact on the remote work and the style of the company. So this gives us basically the problem to manage employees working remotely while ensuring the best performance and the satisfaction and increasing the focus and employee morale. So you want your employees to be as productive as possible while you increase their morale and keep them satisfied with your company. So the solution is to provide a detailed reporting based on the analysis of employees' activities and help determine productivity and efficiency. And that solution is a TimeInformer. A TimeInformer informs you of your employees' productivity and performance. The software keeps track of user activity and their work within the applications. It protects both your business from inefficient work and financial loss caused by staff. At the same time, it also protects employees from being overburdened with work. You can measure a project's success, evaluate task completion time, and decide on whether a task demands that more sources and processes should be involved. C-level executives need a linkage between corporate objectives and risk-hampering progress achievement. Moreover, chief officers have to elaborate on action plan to deal with those risks in an environment where team motivation and employee responsibility play a key role. So team motivation is something you need to achieve, and it's pretty difficult in remote work times, as people get lethargic and some of them are melancholic without the colleagues. So it's something you should try to recognize and protect the people against. In addition, there is a planning and organizing business internal activities, supervising a number of departments, analyzing, managing, and coordinating resources with just one tool. You boost the understanding of how much time should be allocated to a specific job or client support, including dealing with complaints and requests. This is specifically interesting for the service centers who can precisely measure how much time they took in dealing with complaints and requests and generate the performance reports, or for the project managers who need to track exactly the time used for a specific process or user which used the specific time, so they can measure the success of a project. In addition, it's a perfect tool for human resourcing to understand employee behavior, all the issues they have: morale dropping, growing, productivity, efficiency, behavioral patterns like who is coming early to the work, who is leaving late, so they can maybe adjust the work times to fit their schedule better. So you have to make sure that Applications are being used for work-related activities during the work hours, that your employees don't work overtime or experience issues in fulfilling an assignment because it's going to lead to unsatisfied employees, that applications are active and aren't just running in the background. So that the fact that somebody just opened an application and doesn't do anything in it doesn't mean that he was productive. You must meet the deadlines, punctuality and preciseness are maintained, and adequate time is spent on particular tasks. So you can measure exactly each task in the project or process or whatever. Plus, you help your team feel responsible for the success they are part of, aware of project terms and requirements, empowered to control their job, and equal as processes are transparent and no one is privileged to sabotage them. So everything becomes more transparent, the people are more focused on teamwork, and you get a better work environment for you and your employees. So how do we do that? In TimeInformer, there are numbers of pre-configured reports which can give you all the data necessary to conduct uh, everything related to the performance and productivity. So let me just quickly guide you through them. So this is one of the examples of the report where we have average workday time of the user. So you get, for every user or a group, you can group the departments if you like, and you get their average work time and in different colors, whatever color scheme you want. And you can drill down, everything is right clickable. So it's pretty quick in the software, and we encourage you to take a 30 days trial. So you basically just click in the user you would like to see, and you get the average daily active processes of that user. So here we can see that the guy, Harry Smith, is using Office, email, instant messenger, other programs and other sites, where other programs are just the programs which are not associated to anything. So in case you have, like, let's say architectural bureau, and there is AutoCAD, so you can just recognize it, and it will show, for example, that you did 2 hours per day on a specific project. So you can measure in details how much time was spent in specific application. In this case, let's take a look, for example, what's happening in the other sites. So these are the web locations. The software has already predefined all the major programs and websites, but if you have your specific ones, you can also define that. And here we see that this guy, Harry Smith, spent almost an hour on Netflix and 7 minutes on llb.li, whatever is that, we're gonna see. So he's spending some time watching something on Netflix and spending some time on Liechtenstein Landesbank. So it's already quite a suspicious activity, but let's take a look. You have, again, a right click and you can see search for the data in our program controller, which is a powerful feature, and it's showing you a console with all the visited web pages. Why is this important? Because, for example, employees could use the Netflix to watch some educational videos or trainings, increase their knowledge or something like that. But in this case, obviously, it was used in a wrong way, and somebody was watching Narcos on Netflix, maybe new episodes. So it's quite easy to understand what user was doing for how long, if he was productive or not already from this side. But we can drill down to more and more reports, which I want to show you. So, for example, you can get the average daily activity of processes and sites, which you can define on yourself, like job search site. You can make a group of LinkedIn or whatever, Glassdoor, I don't know, whatever exists there. Or social networks, multimedia, travel, so that you can understand what's been used across whole your organization. So here office is most of the time, luckily, so people are probably productive, email, instant messaging, but there is some small amount of time spent on social networks, multimedia, travel, job search sites, which you don't want, obviously, or shopping and similar. So let's take a look into social networks and multimedia. Just with one click, you can drill down to users, to software, or to processes sites. So you can see anything you are interested in, create report based on that. We are going to drill down to users because we are interested, okay, just show me who is using social networks and which type and what multimedia. As I already said, you can have a predefined set, plus you can set your own rules of, for example, streaming media sites or social network sites or shopping sites, so that you can have more precise reports and exact reporting of what you need. And here we go. So we have of social networks and multimedia, we have Daniel Murphy using a lot, then Jason Gray and some other people. So this could be also groups or whatever you decide to set up in software. And if we open, for example, these two guys, Daniel and Jason, in just one click, we will see, okay, Daniel Murphy spent 1 hour and 38 minutes over the Facebook, and he's from technical department, and Jason Gray, who is a graphic designer, spent like 1 hour in Photoshop that day. So we can obviously see that this was not a productive part of the job for Daniel Murphy, but on the other hand, it shows us that Jason Gray is actually being productive with using multimedia. So for different departments, you can set different rules. So for example, for Daniel, again, Photoshop is maybe not productive, but for Jason, it's gonna be, and vice versa. And this leads us to user productivity. So here you have a chart on unknown, unproductive, neutral, and productive behavior. So all the processes inside you see per user how much time he was productive, how much time is neutral. So you can take decisions based on that. So maybe somebody is running slow in the morning, so you tend to give him more tasks so he wakes up earlier, or you just see some people are more productive in the afternoon, so okay, let's just give them more tasks then because they're going to be more effective and similar. So you can drill down to any of these processes or sites which are marked as you can see unproductive in this example, and you can configure each process or site to be the precise and detailed productivity reports. So let's go for this lady, Emma Morris, to the unproductive sites. And this is what we get just in one click. Okay, so she's spending like 34 minutes, which is 85% of her time on AliExpress, 8% of the time on Booking.com, and some time on the EasyJet. So you obviously can see that they're doing shopping during the work hours or booking a holiday. In some rare cases, this could be maybe a good behavior, because like maybe she's a PA to a CEO and buying something for him or booking, but anyway, it's kind of questionable. And you can see the user productivity indicator, which gives you the indicator of daily productivity for user. So you can track them through to the days and again, make decisions based on that. So maybe somebody is just, not productive or just too less time available on Fridays. So you can try to give them more work and make them more efficient on those days. So it's a tip to create more specific tasks in unproductive days to increase the productivity. And after that, you can also have all the detailed user information in a form of calendar. So you can see all the inactive hours during the day or late arrivals, how many late arrivals they have per day or early departures. You can see which programs they used mostly. So this is all related to Christopher Turner. You can see the how many days they work, what activity, average activity, everything in just one screen. And I'd like to mention here that you also get all the statistics live. So you can basically, if you have some important project, you can see live if somebody is uh, opening specific applications needed for that project. So let's say a call center, which has a task to do a cold calling for 2-3 hours. So you can see live if people are really using the app and calling other people for that. As I mentioned, the calendar where you can see the whole overview of the user messages and everything they did, early arrivals, late departures, activity and work. One of the things I like most is actually this user efficiency report, which is a fully detailed report on user efficiency and productivity. As you can see up there, you have a username, and then you have efficiency percentage, which is calculated based on unknown, unproductive, neutral, and productive. So based on the productivity levels, the software automatically calculates the user efficiency and you get a score. You get also a place in organization. So you immediately know if it's ranked high or low so that you can react immediately, and you can see the average time, activity, everything in just one PDF, which is also very nicely manageable, and you can export and send it automatically to the manager's address. So you don't have to do anything. You can just set up that every day gets a report and done. So overall, just to summarize, TimeInformer, because obviously time is money, and we offer a 30 days free trial. I like to mention that. So just send me an email or ping anyone from the company and you'll get free trial licenses for your environment. And just to summarize what we do here is we detect late arrivals and absence. We memorize the time of arriving and the leaving from work. We memorize the long smoke breaks or being late and absent. We detect entertainment during the work hours. We collect the data about application and website usage, record time employees spend using them, so you can easily detect and set alerts if it was productive or not productive time. We detect active usage of work applications. So the software automatically determines whether an application was only launched or actively used, so we help track false positive. We help with overloaded employees. We identify the employees on the verge of a burnout due to a working overtime. We help with automation. We automatically sort out productive, unproductive activities and those who are not related to the task. And we have powerful reporting, as I mentioned, over 30 customizable reports. We create detailed reports on the employee activities and corporate regulation violation. So as I said, everybody can have a 30 days free trial as we let our technology speak for itself and provide fully featured versions of our products to our clients for a free trial. So just ping us anytime to get more information. And I would just like to remind you about our core product, which is a risk monitor. And TimeInformer, actually part of the TimeInformer is part of the risk monitor. And here we have much more controllers for your usage, like cloud controller, HTTP controller, or device controller, which is also would be very important in this remote work era to know which files are transferred to USBs and to encrypt those files from not allowing them to be used outside of the corporate network and much more. So this is the whole set of the solutions under the one umbrella called Risk Monitor. We already talked about it in our previous webinar, so I'm not gonna be long. If you need more information, of course, you can contact me anytime on my email below, m.prerad@searchinform.com, or you can call me or text me. WhatsApp is also available